What's going on, everyone? Today I want to talk about something that's been bothering me for a long time, and that is what is wrong with the face buttons on Xbox controllers, all the way from the original Xbox One controller to the One S controller, the newer Series controllers, the Elite and Elite Series 2, and yes, even the SCUF controllers. So what's wrong with the buttons? Why don't they respond sometimes? And what could Microsoft do to fix it? To do that, let's flip around to the computer here, and I'll show you what's going on. Okay, so here we are at the computer. I'm using my webcam. Sorry if it looks a little bit crappier, but just gonna have to deal with it. So for the purposes of demonstration, I'm gonna use the SCUF controller. Reason for that is just that it's easier for me to replicate the problem on this right now, which sucks, but here we are. So in order to show you what's going on, let me switch scenes here. So this website, GamepadTester.com, I'll link that in the description below, is a great way to figure out what's going on. So here's my controller. Let me just plug it in, just so you can see I'm not making stuff up here. Now it's detected, right? Pressing buttons, stuff's happening. I've always noticed that this happens the most on the A button, so we're gonna go ahead and press it. See how it works, you can hear it. I'm sure that's pretty annoying. Now it's like kind of working half the time, right? You can hear it though. Now it's working. Now it's like kind of working half the time. So to really figure out what's going on there, I think it's first important to understand how these buttons work. So inside, underneath that plastic layer that the buttons have, is something like this. It's a little bit different in the Xbox controller. It has a really kind of weird one, but the basic premise is the same. So it's got these kind of like nipple things, and when you push down the button, it pushes down on that. And you see these little black things on the bottom here? Those are like a conductive disc. Inside the controller, there's like two contact pads, traces, basically. So you've got one and the other, and when the disc touches, it bridges the air gap between them and creates a connection. So to really sort of demonstrate that, let me switch again here. So this is a diagram that I put. Kind of ignore this text. I just want you to look at this. I color-coded the two halves of the contact pads so that you can see it better. They're not actually red and blue on the things, but just take a look at this for a second and see what you see. I mean, you probably read it already, but let's just zoom in for a second here. So here's the Xbox, right? You've got one side, the other side, one side, the other side. You're probably noticing here, let me just make a really bright, obnoxious color or something. I don't know. And whoop. I don't even know if that shows up on the screen, but whoop. See how there's this clear line between them? Let's look at the NES, right? This goes way back in Nintendo history, but you can see blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. It alternates, right? Same thing on the SNES. Genesis, a little bit different, but same thing, alternates, right? DualShock 4 alternates. So really what the problem is when I'm pushing this button and it's not registering, what I'm doing is pushing it sort of down and toward the left. As you can see here, what's happening is that it is only contacting this half of the pad as opposed to bridging the connection between the two. And you can't really do that on these because down here it would bridge there, up here it would bridge there, up here it bridges there, bridges there, bridges there, bridges there, right? So, I mean, we're talking, what, 30, 40 years ago at this point. They already had this figured out. Xbox came along, decided, no, we know better. We're going to do this way, which clearly doesn't work so well. So what's the solution here? Well, the simple solution is just scrap this and do something more like this. And honestly, the biggest problem is that Microsoft could have done this basically for free when they created the Series controllers because they already had to redesign the PCB, but they didn't. I will say that the Series controllers seem to work a little bit better than the older controllers, but that could just be luck of the draw. Like I said, this SCUF still has that problem. So this is kind of where we're at. You might be able to remedy it a little bit if you can come in here and let me just take this faceplate off. That's the nice thing about the scuffs, right? If you can put a little something on the side of the hole there so that the button can't sort of angle itself to the side, that might help. But ultimately, that's more of a band-aid than a fix. Fixing these contact pads would be the real fix. So if you thought this video was interesting, go ahead and leave a like. That's not so much for me as much as it is for the YouTube algorithm. The more people that know about this, the more people that get mad about it, more people tell Microsoft about it, maybe they'll actually do something about it. So that's kind of the state of things where they're at. So thanks for watching, and hopefully one day we can stop talking about this.